The cafe was bustling with morning energy, the air thick with the scent of roasted coffee beans and fresh pastries. Business professionals, students, and artists filled the seats, engaged in lively conversations or focused on their work. Among them, a man in a worn leather jacket and faded jeans walked in quietly, his presence unassuming. He carried himself with an air of calmness, his movements graceful yet subtle. Keanu Reeves took a seat near the window, observing the world outside with a faint smile as he waited to place his order. The moment Lisa, a young barista with an air of superiority, noticed him, she frowned. His clothes were too simple, his demeanor too humble. He didn't look like someone who could afford the premium-priced menu. With an arched brow, she approached, arms crossed. "Excuse me, sir, but this isn't a public resting space. If you're not ordering, you'll have to leave." Keanu looked up at her, his expression calm and kind. "I was about to order," he said gently. "I'll have a black coffee, please." Lisa scoffed, unimpressed. "We serve specialty blends here. Our coffee isn't cheap." A few customers nearby overheard the exchange, some whispering among themselves. One man smirked, amused at the situation. Another woman raised a brow, recognizing Keanu but staying silent, curious to see how this would play out. Keanu remained unfazed, pulling out his wallet. "That's fine. I'd still like a coffee." Lisa rolled her eyes but rang up the order, her tone dripping with condescension. "That'll be $10. Keanu paid without hesitation and simply waited. He had encountered people like Lisa before, quick to judge, eager to assert superiority. He didn't react, didn't argue. He only observed, a quiet knowing in his eyes. Minutes later, the cafe owner, Mr. Carter, stepped out from the back, his gaze sweeping across the floor. The moment he spotted Keanu, his face lit up in surprise and delight. "Mr. Reeves. What an honor to have you here." Lisa's face drained of color. She glanced at Keanu again, the realization sinking in. This wasn't just any man, this was Keanu Reeves, one of Hollywood's most respected and beloved actors. The same man she had just tried to humiliate. The cafe fell silent as a wave of recognition spread through the room, customers turning to see the humble actor sitting quietly at his table. Mr. Carter hurried over, shaking Keanu's hand enthusiastically. "You should have told us you were coming. Your coffee is on the house." Keanu smiled politely. "I appreciate that, but I don't mind paying. I just wanted a quiet place to enjoy my morning coffee." Lisa's hands trembled as she gripped the counter, her previous arrogance crumbling. She felt the eyes of the entire cafe on her, some customers shooting her disapproving looks. The same people who had ignored Keanu moments ago now looked at him with admiration and respect. Desperate to fix her mistake, Lisa hurriedly approached Keanu's table with an apologetic smile. "Sir, I didn't realize who you were. I truly apologize for any disrespect." Keanu merely tilted his head, his gaze thoughtful. "And if I wasn't who you think I am? Would you still be apologizing?" Lisa had no answer. The weight of his words pressed down on her, making her regret her behavior even more. Keanu's question wasn't about status or celebrity, it was about human decency, something she had failed to show. At that moment, Mr. Carter cleared his throat. "Lisa, step into my office after your shift. We need to have a talk about how we treat customers." Her stomach dropped, but she knew she deserved it. Meanwhile, Keanu simply sipped his coffee, unfazed by the attention, as if none of it mattered to him. As the cafe returned to its normal rhythm, a group of college students approached Keanu's table, their excitement barely contained. "Mr. Reeves, we just wanted to say we admire you so much. You're an inspiration." Keanu smiled warmly, shaking their hands. "Thank you. That means a lot." Lisa stood behind the counter, watching in awe. Unlike other celebrities, Keanu didn't bask in the admiration. He remained humble, treating everyone with kindness. It was a stark contrast to her own behavior. As he finished his coffee, he left a generous tip on the table, one that made Lisa's eyes widen. But more than the money, what truly struck her was the small note he scribbled on a napkin before walking out. Treat everyone with kindness. Not because of who they are, but because of who you are. That evening, Lisa sat alone in the break room, the napkin in her hands. She read the words over and over, feeling the depth of their meaning. She had judged Keanu by his appearance, assuming he wasn't worth her respect. But respect wasn't something to be given based on status, it was a basic human principle. Determined to change, Lisa made a vow to herself. From that day on, she would treat every customer with kindness and dignity, no matter who they were. She had learned a lesson she would never forget. Meanwhile, Keanu Reeves walked down the busy street, blending into the crowd like he always did. He didn't need recognition. He didn't seek validation. He simply lived by the values that made him the man people admired. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more uplifting content.